All right, we are back. And one of the things I wanted to go over is Oliver, this XFL league is really interesting, and I feel like the AAF is not off to a great start, kind of what people have been saying. But it's really a battle of Oliver Luck versus Charlie Ebersol. Like, who holds the future of spring football? Now, this is something that you can take and see what you think about who do you think is winning. Because you got to really look at any good organization, in my opinion, starts at the top. Vince was successful in the WWE, though I think his time has passed. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what I'm talking about. Going into WrestleMania, things are really weak, and they just keep a very fixed mindset over there. They may be a little ego-driven. But I think when Vince started doing the XFL again, he knew he couldn't do it, so he hired Oliver Luck. And as long as Oliver is in charge, just like Ozzie Newsome in charge of the Baltimore Ravens, and Oliver we trust. And then you have Charlie Ebersol. So really, these guys' backgrounds could play a factor in how the league does. Now let's take a look at who is Oliver Luck. So it's Oliver Francis Luck. We know who he is, CEO and commissioner of the XFL. Prior to that, he was director of Intercollegiate Athletics at West Virginia University, his alma mater, and an executive with the NCAA in charge of the organization's regulatory functions. Luck is also a retired football player who spent 5 seasons in the NFL as quarterback for the Houston Oilers in 82 to 86. He was also the first president and general manager of the Houston Dynamo of the MLS. Under his watch, the Dynamo won an MLS Cup in 06 and 07. Luck is married to Kathy Wilson, whom he has 4 children: Andrew, the quarterback, Mary Ellen, Emily, and Addison. 2 oldest are both graduates of Stanford, where Andrew played football and Mary Ellen played volleyball. When Luck's NCAA employment was announced, Emily was attending Stanford and Addison was attending Morgantown High School. Andrew played quarterback at Stanford and was selected number 1. He plays with the Colts in the 2012 draft. He's been there ever since. That's his background. And that's why he is the XFL commissioner. He reportedly received $20 million guaranteed in a multi-year deal. According to the Sports Business Journal, the deal could end up being worth $30 million, depending on how well Vince McMahon's football league performs. Oliver Luck's net worth, as of the writing, was somewhere in the range of $9 million, based on his jobs and everything. So you see, this guy has a background in the NFL, NCAA, football, even doing stuff in the MLS. This guy has been successful at what he does. Now, let's take another look at who is Charlie Ebersol, who is also going to be in charge of a football league. Charlie Duncan Ebersol is the co-founder and CEO of the Alliance of American Football, and we all know who they is, which they just started playing. He was born in Connecticut in 1982. He's the son of actress Susan St. James. You might know her from the 80s. She was an actress in there. I forget the show she was on. And senior television executive and co-founder of the original XFL, Dick Ebersol. Charlie is also best known as the co-founder of the company with Justin Hochberg, executive producer of USA Network's NFL Characters Unite, and co-producer of The Prophet on CNBC, shows that I've never really heard of before. In 2012, Ebersol was named by Hollywood Reporter as one of reality television's 50 most powerful producers. While studying at Notre Dame, Ebersol created his first documentary entitled, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Never Stop Learning, in 2006. The movie received critical acclaim, winning the Toronto International Film Festival's first 1X1 award, and inspired Oprah Winfrey to donate $1.14 to the Ah Tong Trust School. Ebersol also produced the documentaries Don't Look Down, about the life of Olympian Shaun White after he won Olympic gold in 2006, and Tradition Never Graduates, a film about Notre Dame football. Okay, there's our first little football reference. And he went to Notre Dame, which is a football school. In 2009, Ebersol formed and sold St. James Films, after his mom, and also co-created and executive produced at NBC's The Wanted, a primetime show in which Ebersol and producing partner Adam Kraleski led a team of former Navy SEALs, a former UN ambassador, and former Lieutenant Green Beret around the world in search of the most wanted terrorists and war criminals. Never heard of that one. In 2011, Charlie co-founded the Hochberg Ebersol V Company. Ooh. Early projects included TNT's The Great Escape, executive produced with Bertram Van Muster, Ron Howard, and Brian Grazer. History's Off the Grid, $1 Million Manhunt. Ebersol created USA Network's The Moment in 2013, a show hosted by Kurt Warner, by giving Americans a second chance to achieve their dreams. Reality TV guy. Now, what's interesting, and I didn't know about this, about Ebersol was inspired to create the show after receiving his own second chance in life after surviving a plane crash in 2004. Charlie's father, Dick, survived, but his younger brother, Teddy, along with the pilot and flight attendant on board, were killed. Ebersol is also, we talked about the Characters Unite, and his production company. So that was a crazy, when I read that, I was like, whoa. Now, Ebersol also directed This Was the XFL, a documentary in the 30 for 30 series about the XFL. He was chosen by ESPN to direct the documentary because of his father's co-founding of the league and his long-term friendship between Ebersol and Vince McMahon as the centerpiece of the film. Now, in March of 2018, so that was a year ago in a month, Ebersol announced the creation of a new professional football league called the Alliance of American Football, which is kind of around when Vince did. The announcement was made at a press event in the Park Hyatt in Manhattan and was streamed live on Facebook. Ebersol co-founded the league, which started playing with Bill Polian, Hall of Famer. Ebersol's father, of course, we know about the XFL, created Sunday Night Football. Again, not that that's like a genius thing to put football on a Sunday night. The league is backed by investors such as Peter Thiel's Founders Fund, former Jared Allen, Mike Singletary, Steve Spurrier is involved, and some others like Justin Tuck, Heinz Ward, Troy Polamalu. And you have the two leagues. So, given that background of who these guys are, and you are starting a football league, who are you going to pick to run your new football league? A dude who played the NFL, had success leading a sports franchise that has nothing to do with football. Well, technically, they use your foot. Okay, we got that part. That you use your foot in soccer, and in other countries, they call it football. I get it. Charge of the NCAA. Wins a championship. Son is a potential Hall of Famer. You could throw Andrew Luck, potentially. He's not done yet, but I don't see why he wouldn't be in that realm. He could. He needs to win some playoff games. Guy has the pedigree. Or reality television's 50 most powerful producers. Yes, I like his person who he's got on in his league, Bill Polian. I think that was a great hire by him to do it. But if you're going to go, who would you go? Leave us a comment, podcast@allwrestling.com. I mean, honestly, who would you pick? Oliver Luck or Charlie Ebersol? You're going Oliver Luck all the way. And that's why I am all in for the XFL and not for the AAF, which is, that name stinks. The names of the team stinks. Who would you put your money on?